Hey everybody, this is Adrienne Torres with Ascension Soul Coaching. Hey, I just want to let you know I went to a movie last night called Us, and it's by Peele. It was a pretty good movie. I want to do analyze a little bit of that movie and let you know what I saw. I actually liked the movie, but if you want to get down into the deep and dirty of how to really figure out what's going on in the movie, this is my interpretation. Take it as you will. I hope you do go see the film, but I wanted to just do a quick analysis of it. So on a rating scale of 1 to 10 for me, I give it probably an 8 out of 10 because it started out kind of slow and then it like midway through it sped up and it was really, really good. I really liked the dynamics of the movie, but I'm going to get down and dirty into what I feel are the analysis of the movie. So here we go. Okay, so to me, if you think of the Wizard of Oz, right? The Wizard of Oz have like 4 main characters. You have Dorothy, you have the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, and the Cowardly Lion. Okay, if you think about that most people who study the structure of the story of the Wizard of Oz would say that there are strong archetypes in that movie. And when you write a movie or you write for actors or for television productions, whatever, there's always these archetypes. You have an archetype. You have a hero's journey is what they call it. Getting you from point A to point Z, right? In a movie, there's twists and turns all the way through it, but the characters drive the story. So you have Dorothy, you have the Tin Man, you have the Cowardly Lion, and you have the Scarecrow. Okay. Now people see me and they see that I do tarot cards. Well, think about this. There's 4 main elements of the minor arcana of the tarot cards, and tarot cards are really cards to help my clients be able to express what they're feeling, right? The images, the symbols on the cards per se. I am intuitive as well. I'm an empath. I do know things. I just do sometimes, but when dealing with clients, the answer is always within them. So when I work with clients, I let them use the cards to help work through their problems. Okay, so the cards of tarot are similar to cards that counselors may use to deal with their clients. So I use different types of cards. I like tarot; it's really fun. But there are some deep psychological symbols that help the unconscious come through and be better communicated. So, just to say that, Dorothy, if you want to match up the elements of the tarot cards, Dorothy, she represents Earth. And she's always talking about home. So Pentacles, she's the Pentacles of the tarot card. She is she represents Earth. Okay, so then you have the Tin Man who says, if I only had a heart. So he represents the cups or emotions, okay? And then you have the Scarecrow who says, if I only had a brain. He represents the swords, because he in a strategy, right? He wants to be able to strategically find problems. And so then we have the Lion who represents passion and courage. So he's more like the rods, okay? So just get that in motion. So that's how it matches up to tarot, okay? But if you look at the movie Us, you kind of can sort of match up the family with the Wizard of Oz, the 4 main characters. You have the mother who represents the earth, Mother Earth, and the rabbits of fertility, right? Every time you see her alter ego, there's a rabbit involved, right? You have the father who represents emotions and the cup, which is also like the sea, right? The water, right? Water, because his alter ego. If you ever, when you watch the movie, I'm not going to tell you the plot of the movie, but I'm just going to give you some symbols of the movie, right? He wears glasses, and when the alter ego comes in, he takes his glasses. Why? So he can see. CEE, which is playing the word CEA. The father also buys a boat because he wants to go on the boat, right? And his alter ego dies at sea. Also, when you look at the father, again, he is the Tin Man, represents the hearts and the cups. Okay, if you notice, he's very stiff. He's like a very awkward, kind of oddball kind of person. But in the movie The Wizard of Oz, the Tin Man carried an axe. And in the movie Us, the father carries, well, he uses a bat. And when the alter ego, his shadow self, he's in a fight with the shadow self, the shadow self hits the father with the bat. And then from then on, most of the rest of the movie, the father limps. So he can't walk. Remember, the Tin Man, he needed oil so he wouldn't rust up, or he couldn't walk well, or he couldn't move. So that's the comparison between Us and the Wizard of Oz for the father. So then you have the daughter. She's a runner, a track runner. So she's more like the Scarecrow. She's air. The Scarecrow in the Wizard of Oz was supposed to scare away the crows, right, from the farm, and he wasn't very good at it, right. Also, he couldn't walk. When he did get down, when Dorothy let him down to get down, he could not walk because he had never walked before, so his legs was really wobbly. Well, the daughter, who represents the Scarecrow in the movie Us, guess what? She's a track star. She can run. Right? She can run like the wind. They were talking about how great she is as far as being a track runner, right? She can go to the Olympics if she wants to. She's more like air. Plus, she was a bully. She was a bully over her brother, pretty much, I think, in the beginning of the film. Her alter ego dies by flying in the air. I'm just going to tell you that's how she died. I'm not going to tell you, the story, but by air. Run like the wind. Her alter ego dies by flying in the air. That's all I'm going to tell you about her. And then the son, who represents the lion, passion, fire. He was in Wizard of Oz, the lion was a cowardly lion. And in the movie Us, the little boy was very shy and quiet and reticent, right? He didn't say much. But over time throughout the movie, he gained his courage and confidence. And he ended up killing his shadow self by fire. So you have those matching elements of water, earth, wind, and fire. Okay? So that's that. There's also a part in the movie, and it may be a small part, but if you remember The Wizard of Oz, The Wizard of Oz had a song. One of the main songs throughout the story was, follow the yellow brick road, follow the yellow brick road, follow, 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 follow. So they had a song, and it was a cadence, and that's what they when they were walking or dancing down the path, the yellow brick road, that's the song they sang. Now in the Oz, or the Wiz, rather, the black version of The Wizard of Oz with Diana Ross and Michael Jackson, they had Ease On Down the Road. Ease on down the road. I know I can't sing, but that's the cadence, right? And that's what they were marching to go towards the Emerald City, right? Now, in this movie, it's a little bit more subtle, I think. Maybe it's not. But in the car while they're going on the vacation, the son in the back seat with the daughter, they're listening to this song. It has a heavy rhythm, heavy bass, and the mother turns around and starts snapping her fingers, and then the daughter starts snapping her fingers, and they're teaching the son how to snap his fingers. So it may be a very small comparison with the other two that had a particular song that everybody sang throughout the movie. But I think this one song follows throughout the movie, but the only time they're snapping their fingers to it is when they're in their car going to vacation. But you might want to take a look at that. I think if you look at Dorothy, let's go back to The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy was to follow the yellow brick road to get to where she needed to go, right, to get to the wizard, right? And then with Us, they had a Hands Across America, right? Back in 1986, and you'll see it in the movie, there was this big charity thing that was to end hunger and homelessness. So people decided that this big campaign that everybody would get together, and on a particular day, for 15 minutes, they'd hold hands, and they donated money as well to do this, that they would hold hands for 15 minutes to conquer hunger and homelessness. Okay, so that was the thing there. So that's why I believe with the mother in the story, her dealing with her being representing Earth, Mother Earth, right? And you'll see those symbols throughout the movie with the hands across America. Now, if you think about Wizard of Oz, and when Dorothy got to Oz, the wizard didn't have any real power. The power the wizard told her was in her. She could do whatever she wanted. She wanted to go home. All she had to do was say, I want to go home, right? She had the power within. And if you watch this movie, the mother in this story, she comes off as being a scared person, very introspective and quiet, really, and always having these flashbacks. I'm not going to tell you what they're about, but she's having these flashbacks. And as the movie progresses, she actually encompasses all of those different signs, right? Those different, the earth sign, of course, she's already an earth sign. She becomes, she gets the heart. She has the brains, and she has the courage to fight the evil. And that progresses over the movie, as with Dorothy, who at the end realized she had all those elements inside of her already to go home. And really, in reality, what you think about it, she was really dreaming, and these were these different parts of her that she thought she was missing, right? And at the end of the movie, she realized, or she was told, she had all of that already inside of her to be able to do what she had to do, which was to go back home. Okay, so that's that. Now, the other thing about the symbols of the rabbits, like you'll see in the movie that there's a lot of rabbits, a lot of white, there's different colors, but there's more white rabbits than anything. Now, white rabbits in the occult world identifies with paganism, fertility. The movie is, to me, is a little bit of the Wizard of Oz. What do we know down the rabbit hole? Even a little bit of Alice in Wonderland, which also has white rabbits. If you ever watched or read the movie, read the book. It's the same thing. It's about how much do you want to know about who you really are, because this movie's dealing with alter egos or shadow work, right? So we all have a persona, but each personality has a flip side. We're actually everything. We could be a victim, we could be a friend, we could be a this, we could be that, but there's good and evil in everybody. There's good and bad, there's black and white in every person, right? As far as personality. So this movie deals with the balancing of the good and the evil of each person. They see their alter ego, which is their shadow side, right? That's what this movie's about. So a lot of it is as below, as above, so below, which is an occult theme. So it's like the world has been turned upside down, and a lot of it's political as well. If you look at how America is now, it's the dichotomy of the Barack, President Obama era, and then we have the Trump era, right? Like everybody's turned upside down. Like we're all Americans, but we're totally different. Like 5 years ago, the way we think now, we're not that same country. We're a different country, but we're really the same people. We just, who's in control now and who's bringing out the negativity and the shadow work of us is Trump. See, we can't blame Trump for all the things that's happening, because he actually feeds into the shadow side of us, the collective society, right? And so he's no worse or better than us. His personality portrays it more negative side, but those negative traits are in us as well. And so there's a part in the movie that talks about Jeremiah 11:11 out of the Bible, which is, I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it. And it says, and it's about the broken covenant with God, and that people have done evil and they've not listened to him, and they're not following the rules that they said they were going to follow. And it says, therefore, this is what the Lord says. I will bring on them a disaster they cannot escape. Although they cry out to me, I will not listen. So because we're dealing more, I believe in the movie, Peele is saying that because we're dealing more on our shadow side right now, we're getting this negative reinforcement back. And it's up to us to, as a group, to join together to flip this backside up. and bring the positive vibes back that we've had before. We can do it. We know we can do it. But we need to be able to gather the strength to do it, the courage, the strategy, the heart to do it, and to materialize what we need and what we say we want in this world, which is goodness. We want to be back on, have a good economy. We want people to have more morality and more integrity. We want our president to show that as well. And we want to strengthen our relationship not just across the country, but throughout the world. So I think that's what the movie's about. It's about the dichotomy of good and evil. It shows us that the world can be flipped upside down if we allow it, and we're not following the rules that we say we want to follow. We don't even follow our Constitution. All these rules are being broken. We're not following it. And if we don't follow it and hold ourselves up to a higher integrity or morality, then things like this can happen. The world can easily, our world can easily flip upside down. We've already seen that. I mean, it happened in Germany with Hitler. I'm not comparing Trump to Hitler, although it's easy to do it, but I'm not going to do it. But I'm just saying, as you can see, it's easy to flip. And those who don't know the history are doomed to repeat it. So I think this movie's more about us as a collective society, how we've allowed a person who's very negative to feed upon our negative selves, our shadow self, all right, and allow this to happen. And if we allow that to happen, we can allow it to happen in the opposite direction as well. It's up to us. Now we know how dark we can go. Now we need to recognize how light we can go. Now I say dark and light. Also in the movie, you have the black family and the white family. So in the card of the high priestess, there's the black and the white tower. Good and evil, black and white, dark and light. Black and white, dark and light, true. The movie just has so many symbols in it, and he's preaching to us. We're doomed if we don't turn this around. The last symbol, one of the last symbols you see, is the family leaving in a ambulance, and for me, again, that reinforces the heal the world type of morality of the story or plot of the story. Healing America. That took the ambulance and was driving them back across. Well, they were driving across country. We don't know where they were actually going. But so the ambulance signified, to me, is a symbol of healing, right? So we can heal America. We can heal the world. Nothing ever is going to be perfect. Life's not going to be perfect. Politics is never going to be perfect, but it can be a lot better than what it is right now. So I hope you do go see the movie Us. Someone was saying, I was reading online that someone was saying the first movie was about Get Out, and Us is U.S., the United States. And the next one, if it's a trilogy, should be Now. Get Out of the U.S. Now. Cute and all that, but I don't think we need to leave. I just think we need to change back into who we used to be, turn that negativity back into positivity. So I hope you enjoyed my version of, or my analysis of the movie Us. I really enjoyed it. I think people were saying they have to go back and they have to watch the movie multiple times because there's so many layers, and there are. But I truly believe it's just reinforcing that we need to be the light. We need to know that we have the power within us to go back. Not just to go back to the way it used to be, but to make life better. It's up to us. We've got the power to do it. So I think it was a great movie. And dealing with the occult, it's not a bad thing. It's just people say it is. You're dealing with your unconscious feelings, your personalities, the environment. And we do have the power. It's nothing magical about it. God gave us the ability and all the things within us to make this world a better place. As Michael Jackson says, we all have the power to do that. So thank you for listening, and have a good night. And I'm sure tomorrow we'll have another thing to talk about. And if you would like a reading with me, then reach out to ascensionsoulcoaching.com or ascensionsoulcoaching@gmail.com. My name is Adrienne, signing off. Thank you.